today I'm going to tell you about different grammar structures that we can use to talk about future, and I'm not talking only about grammar tenses, future tenses, but also other structures that you can use to talk about future, about predictions, about probability of different activities, different states in the future. And we will start with future simple, which is a grammar tense and tells you about things that will simply happen in the future. So they will start and finish in the future. The second thing that we can use is the grammar structure be going to. So being going to, this is a very specific structure that tells you about the things which are very highly to happen, because these are the activity that you want to do. For example, I'm going to eat a sandwich, or I'm going to fly to Berlin. Means that there is an idea, you want to do this, maybe this isn't anything so sure that you want to note it down in your calendar, but you are pretty sure that these things are going or are not going to happen. So when it comes to technical matters, when it comes to making a sentence with this structure, you have to remember that the only thing, the only element that changes here is the verb to be. So to make a sentence here, you need to give the personal form of this verb. For example, I'm going to, she's going to, we're going to. After the to in the structure, there is always another verb which is in basic form. To make a question, you just use inversion, so you take your personal form of the verb be to the first part of this sentence, and this is how you make a question. For example, am I going to do something? Is she going? Are we going? To make a negative, you just add not to your personal form of the verb be in a longer or shorter form. So I'm not going, she's not going, or I am not going, she is not going. I suppose that you may think about the difference between be going to and will. I mean the will that is present in future simple. Sometimes both of the sentences are used in the same situation, because especially in English there isn't a very big difference between the tenses which use, for example, the will, I will go, and I'm going to go. The only thing you have to remember about be going to is that there are two very specific verbs that maybe don't sound very okay with the phrase be going to. One of them I've already used, and this is the verb go. The second one is the word come. We tend to use in this situation the present continuous form. So I'm going, I'm coming, instead of I'm going to come, I'm going to go. And speaking about present continuous, this is another grammar structure that you can use to talk about your plans in the future. Your plans is very important here, because present continuous tells you about the plans, about the activities in the future that are your plans or plans of other people. So these are the plans we make for ourselves. For example, I'm taking a train next week to go to Madrid. You can also use another present tense, which is present simple, to talk about future plans, but you have to remember that these are very specific plans again. These are the plans that are given by someone. So, for example, this can be a shift plan. This can be the bus plan or flight departures plan. Or, for example, the plan on how often movies are displayed in a cinema. The bus arrives at 5. The train leaves at 11. Even though you are using here the present tense, you still talk about the future. And this is the plan you need to adjust your behavior to. Another thing is modal verbs. So you can also use modal verbs to talk about the probability of an activity or your future predictions. So first of them is will. And you have to remember that will is used in a very specific situation. So when you make a plan in the moment of speaking, I'll give you an example. Your colleague is calling you to tell you that her car is broken somewhere in the middle of the forest. You pick up the phone, you hear the news, and you say, okay, I'll take you a lift. Yeah, so this is the plan that you make in the moment of speaking. If you are not very sure about how probable this activity is or will be in the future, you can use some modal verbs. For example, can. I can go there means that yes, if there is such a need, probably I can do this. And another one, which is might always tells you that maybe you can do this or maybe not. I always tell that this is 50-50, so I can do this or I can do that. For example, I might stay at home or I might go to the cinema.